Well, welcome back to the Monica Kelley Show. And today I have a guest in the studio that's going to talk to you about all things vitamins and IV health. And she has taken care of me for about 2 years, not consistently, but I think it's been 2 years now. And so I'm excited to have Miss Felicia Coopwood, nurse practitioner, here in the podcast studio with me today. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you
I'm good.
on
All
this
right.
rainy day?
I know. It is a rainy day. All right, talk to us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into nursing, and anything else you want us to know.
Ooh, those are a lot of questions. Okay. My name is Felicia Coopwood. I am a nurse practitioner and I'm certified by the American Academy of Nurse Practitioners. Altogether, I would say I've had 18 years of nursing.
Wow.
Um, 15 years of those were on the night shift in the emergency room. And about 3 years ago, I decided to go back and get my master's. And 3 years ago, I started my business, which is Healing Drops Mobile IV Infusions. And what we do is we go into people's homes or work or events, and we give them hydration and vitamin therapy, shot therapy, weight loss management. But it's 100% mobile. That's what makes us unique. We don't have a freestanding facility. We actually come to you. We're here in the Texarkana area, and so we do service the Arkansas and Texas side and 30-mile radius. If you're outside of that 30-mile radius, we'll come see you. It's just a little bit more on the travel fee, that's all.
Wonderful. What a genius idea for it's kind of like back in the day when the doctors used to have to come to your house to treat you.
Absolutely.
And so I am all about that. Like if I could have Tabitha at my house training me, I would. And that I just don't like to be around a whole lot of people. I'm at that age in my life where I just like privacy, if that makes sense. While I might show up on social media and it looks like I put everything out there, trust me, everything is not out there. But
Yes.
I do like for people to come to me and service me. And I mean, yesterday I had an appointment with a nurse practitioner. We're working on some peptides. And so it was just calm. I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like I have to go. I have to get to the next person. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the beauty of having cash patients. You can spend a little bit more time with them. So let me ask you that question. Do you accept insurance?
I don't. We are a cash pay service. However, we do accept flexible spending accounts and health spending accounts. So it does help out a lot of people. But ultimately, we are vitamin based.
Hmm.
And so, you know, it's not FDA approved.
Hmm.
So the government really is, kind of finicky on that
Hmm.
on that part. So we're cash pay.
Right, right. Well, I can say I think I've had vitamins from you twice. The first time I was sick and you gave me some vitamins and I felt better. I don't even think I went to the doctor. And at that point, it was like some type of virus because it was coming up. And
Mm-hmm.
you gave me some vitamins and I felt so much better after I got that. And then I just had one, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, you came to my office, which is
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave me what is called a menopause IV.
That's correct.
And I felt so much better. Now I went to the bathroom quite a bit because that comes with an IV, but it made me feel so much better. And I mean,
Absolutely.
whatever color it was, that's what came what came out. So I was like, okay, it did work. It did go in, and things were going good. So I do feel much better with it. Now, are you ready to dive
Good.
in with some questions?
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
do it.
let's go. For someone who has never heard of IV therapy, can you break down what medical IV services actually are and why people are turning to them for wellness?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I guess I'll kind of backtrack a little bit in how I got into this
Okay.
is that, being in the ER, you see a lot of people who come to the ER who just need hydration.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the South, it's hot outside. A lot of people get um, heat related injuries and heat stroke, heat illness. and all they need is fluid.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, they get dehydrated. A lot of the times, they're waiting 4 hours in the emergency room just to get a bag of fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you kind of shared your experience, because there's several different reasons why people would use IV therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But what it basically is that we put an IV catheter in your arm, just like you would in the hospital, and get a bag of fluid. We can customize those vitamins to whatever's going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got several different clients. Some of them do it regularly just for maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they're athletes, and or they are occupational workers that actually work outside,
Mm-hmm.
like roofers, police officers,
Mm-hmm.
firefighters. All of those working in the heat, and in August,
Yeah.
it's easy to have a heat related injury.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to stay on top of our hydration. And sometimes just drinking is not enough.
Not enough.
It's not enough. I
Yeah.
mean, you can think that you're drinking enough, and obviously you're not.
I know I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I try my best to get in a gallon of water every day, but I'm like, if I have to look at any more water, I'm
And it's
done.
hard.
It's hard. It
And
is
you'll be
very hard.
amazed how many people say, I just don't like water, which I think is crazy,
That's
but
me.
a
Me
lot of
and my
people.
oldest son, we do not like water.
Yes.
We don't. Now my baby boy, he drinks water, but we're like, ooh, water. I got to put something in it to be able to drink it. But just drinking clear water,
Mm-hmm.
that's a no for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even my water now, there's lemon juice in it and Splenda. Like that's the only.
Well, you found something to help
Yeah.
you, get it down. And I hate to say it like that, get
Yeah.
it down, but really, hydration is so important.
Mhm.
And if you get to the point to where your body is overheated, of course, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Last night I finished working out and I went to pop. I have this thing where I pop my big toe all of a sudden. And I went to pop my big toe and my other toes got stuck. And I was like, oh, I need some water. So I went in there and started drinking water. I'm like, you've already experienced this before because before I got my IV with you this year, I
Mhm.
found myself in the ER and I was dehydrated. And I had
Tis,
no idea.
tis.
Yeah. I had no idea, but that was me coming out of my blood clot situation
Yes.
and all the above. And he was like, you're dehydrated. We're going to give you an IV before you go. And I felt so much better. I'm like, my body is missing this stuff. I have to figure out a way to put it in.
Mhm.
So I try to always have a bottle of water nearby. And I'm one of those people, like, I can't sip on it. I have to just gulp it all down.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
only way I'm going to get it done.
And that's another good example. Lots of people who go through surgery don't realize how much your body goes through
Mm-hmm.
under surgery, whatever the surgery
Mhm.
is. But let it be a big surgery, like a gastric surgery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, your body loses a lot of fluid with
Mhm.
bleeding and things like that. And so, you're at home recovering and don't realize that your body needs to be rehydrated.
Wow. I had no idea, but I do now. All right. Why do you think so many people wait until they're sick to focus on their health instead of investing in preventative care like IV therapy?
Wow, that's a great question. Um, I think men and women alike feel guilty to spend money on themselves.
Oh, girl, you better preach.
You know,
I'm going to spend some money on me. Like,
yeah.
I don't care.
Yes, yes, and I think that comes with age. But when you're young and you think you're invincible,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time you have small children at home and all this kind of, and a wife, kids, house, all the things,
Mm-hmm.
you do feel guilty for spending money on yourself.
Mhm.
However, it's all a mindset,
Mhm.
because when it comes down to that bag you want or the shoes you want,
Yes.
or in men's case, things that they want to spend on their truck, or
Yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
supplies and things,
Fishing. Yeah.
fishing and stuff. They don't mind dropping that dime.
Yeah.
So it really is just a mindset
Mhm.
of that I hope that we overcome. And I do think times are changing to where people are putting their health more as a preventative situation than waiting till they get sick.
Hmm.
But traditionally, traditional medicine, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we treat illnesses
Hmm.
instead of really putting a spotlight on preventative care.
Yeah. So this week, by Tuesday, I had 5 pair of new shoes to come to my house on purpose. I was like, this is about me today. And I just went to clicking on every website, ordering all kinds of stuff. I think probably in the last 3 weeks, I've had about 15 packages come to the house. And I was like, I want it. Like, it's time for me to update my closet. My body has changed. So I have to go along with my body, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now my feet haven't changed, but I was like, "Oh, those are cute. Oh, those are cute. Oh, those are
Mm-hmm.
cute." So I'm glad you said that because there are a lot of people that feel guilty about, I don't want to use the word pleasuring themselves, but buying things for themselves.
Right. Right.
Like in any marriage or in any relationship, you have to do things for yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you're going to find yourself in a trap. And I've been in that trap before where it's husband, kids, husband, sports, kids, somebody else, kids. I'm not doing that anymore. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
about Monica. And if you want to call that selfish, then you can call that selfish. But I've already lived that life. Now I need to figure out what I need to do. And, my baby boy, he's a sophomore in college. And I'm like, these next 2 years, brother, you better go all in because you got 2 years and I'm done. Like it's
Right.
really going to all be about Monica at that point. So I still take care of, them whenever they need anything. And I mean, Trent, Tyler, he's grown, got a job, he's doing his own thing. He never calls for anything, but Trent is still in college. And
Yeah.
there are things that I'm going to do for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to do those for him. Why? Because I did it for your brother.
Right.
And so I'm going to make sure that you get the same treatment. But sometimes when I go to pay things, I'm like, whew, I could have bought a purse with it, or I could have got my hair done with it, or my nail.
Yeah.
I have to do things a little bit different now. Whereas I go get my nails done twice a month, it's once a month. Whatever I got to last for 30 days,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you brought that up because there are so many people that truly feel guilty about doing what they want for themselves. So
And
it's a
I
good
think
point.
when we get older, we think more about the future,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and, we start thinking about wanting to be around for our grandkids and not just being around. We want to, age gracefully,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all about taking care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're there barely being able to move because your back hurt, your knees hurt, all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff hurts
Mm-hmm.
because you've neglected yourself for so long, um, that your quality of life is not
Yeah.
where it could have been
Right.
if you paid attention when you were able to.
And you're exactly right. I definitely have to piggyback off of that as well because within the last 3 weeks with working out with Tabitha, my knees have been killing me. So that means I haven't been doing anything. And I haven't because I didn't have any energy to do anything. And so I want grandkids so bad, but that's a story for another day because my boys, they ain't going. But I'm like, I can't wait to have a grandbaby. And I see babies in church and I'm like, hi, can
Mm-hmm.
I? And I don't want to be rude because I know I didn't want anybody holding my baby, but I'm like, I want to hold your baby. Just let me get a hug. Let me just smell the baby. So you're right. We need to think about what is coming. And
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say it felt so good yesterday at the doctor's office. Hypertension, no. Diabetes, no. Thyroid, no. Everything is no. Like
Praise
what?
it.
Yes. I'm like, thank you,
Yes.
God. And I'm 44 because we have people that are dropping
Absolutely.
just like that. And these are
Absolutely.
even kids that are dropping after
Uh-huh.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I wish these athletic programs would implement an IV service because these kids are out here in the freaking heat of
Oh, yeah.
August in
Yeah.
Texas football. Like that needs to be mandatory that
Absolutely.
fluids go back in them. They can spend money on everything else and those coaches can pump their pockets, but that's a story for another day. Okay. What are some of the most common symptoms that people experience but don't realize could be linked to like vitamin deficiencies?
Well, first of all, you got to think about what your body's been through. So, going back to if you've had gastric surgery, like a gastric sleeve or anything like that, your body is your stomach is smaller and you just don't absorb vitamins and nutrients like you used to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder to eat meals and eat a balanced diet and things like that. So you're deficient.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have a lifestyle like where you don't eat animal meat and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, you're deficient in certain vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is a way that you can do that and still live the lifestyle that you want,
Right.
but in a more healthy manner. Um, Most people know that they're not eating a good diet,
Mm-hmm.
you
Me.
know.
Used to be me. Still
And
kind of
it's
me.
just the way that society is now, convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so busy, 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 taking the kids here, taking the kids there after work, weekends, you're never at home, you're going to ball games, all this kind of stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So we all have embraced that life of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting the balanced diet is really hard
Yeah.
just for the everyday family. But even if you think that you are eating clean and good with the agricultural practices that we have now, your food is not what it used to be.
Absolutely. I mean, even let me tell you, when you go to Walmart and my cousin, I was just on the phone talking to her. They're getting ready to do an event. She's like, "Girl, we went to get hamburger meat by the roll in Walmart, and it was $28." Like, what? Like, I remember that used to be $5.
I
Like,
know,
that is
girl.
crazy.
Mhm.
You know, the influx on everything is just crazy. That's cars, that's going to the doctor, that's this, that's that. You know, when I look at my EOB, my explanation of benefits that come in sometimes, and I see all of the money that is charged to the insurance company and the amount that insurance company allows, it's crazy to me. Like, I don't quite understand. And I kind of went off just a little bit with that. But when you were talking about influx, I just looked at an EOB the other day, and the labs were like, all the labs were like $1,400, and they only allowed such and such. And I'm like, where does the other money go? And I'm gonna have to talk to an insurance person because I'm just confused about that. And I used to work in insurance a long time ago, but it
Mhm.
just doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Which is why most people are moving to cash. And I
Yeah.
completely get it. I
Yeah.
understand and I respect it.
Mhm.
So, okay. How is IV therapy different from just taking vitamins and supplements that you buy at the store?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
So, the benefits of IV therapy is basically the question. Um, Whenever you take a pill by mouth, it doesn't matter if it is a blood pressure medication, a vitamin, whatever it is. It has to bypass your gastric system.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, your body only absorbs very little of that pill.
Yes.
It's usually excreted through your pee or your poop.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really know how much of that pill that your body's absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why whenever you go to the hospital and you get, or your primary care provider and you get antibiotics, they tell you take it 3 times a day so it can build up in your system, um, because most of it's getting excreted out your body as
Mm-hmm.
soon as it hits that gastric system. When you get IV therapy, it's a little needle, a catheter that goes through your arm and put the fluid and the vitamins in is in your venous system and in your circulatory system. So it bypasses the gastric.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 100% benefits of the vitamins and the hydration. We're all dehydrated,
Wow.
so it's helping bifold both ways.
That is amazing. I mean, because I've heard that you don't know what percent of a pill that you're getting because it has to go through your stomach, and your
Right.
stomach acids may eat it up before it
Mm-hmm.
gets into your bloodstream. Like, that's, I'm not a nurse, so I'm putting that in my own
Yeah.
terms, right? So, and
But you're saying it right. That's
but
exactly what
nothing
happens.
nursing about me. I don't want to look at nothing. I mean, if somebody passed out, I'm likely gonna take off running. Seriously, I did that at the hospital, and it's so crazy. Like, we needed to call a code, and I just took off running to the break room because the person just passed out on me. I was like, what the? And what am I supposed to do? So I went back there and I thought for a minute. And then I came back and I was like, you need to call a code. And so I'm not a medical person at all. I can't do it. But anyway, you gave me a shot of vitamin D. I
Mhm.
don't even know what that's for, but
Okay.
I trusted you. What
Mhm.
is that?
Vitamin D is great, and so, I'm gonna kinda backtrack a little bit. Vitamin D, a lot of research went into it during COVID
Mm.
because it's a powerful, immunity booster.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is, everybody said it's the sun vitamin because you do get it from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it got really popular during COVID because people of color, um, it's hard for them to absorb the sun like someone who is fairer complected.
Yeah.
And so naturally, we're not getting as much vitamin D as someone who is fairer complected.
Mm-hmm.
But what it actually does is activate those cells to absorb um, that from the sun.
I'm
So,
just gonna tell you whatever you gave me, and I know you gave me the paper and I read over it, but I can't tell you what was in there. I can tell you that like literally by the evening, I
hmm
was pumped.
yeah,
I mean, even my mood had changed.
absolutely.
And I'm
Vitamin
just
D
like,
does increase
this
your
is
mood.
crazy.
Because think about it in the summertime when we're outside in the sun, we feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Thank you for that. I need it. I need
hmm
it. I need it. Okay. What are some of the most popular? This is funny. What are some of the most popular IV treatments people request, and what do they actually help with? I know there's one when I've had too much alcohol and I need to be rejuvenated. I know about that one, but I don't know about the other ones.
Okay, so yeah, I do get a lot of requests for hangovers, especially during the holiday season where you're busy, busy, and you got all these holiday parties to go to,
Mm-hmm.
but you still got to go work on
Mm-hmm.
Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get a lot of calls for that, and what's in it is basically B vitamins to help with that, just fatigue
Mm-hmm.
after having a hangover.
Mm-hmm.
But it also comes with some Toradol, so it helps with those body aches and that headache.
Mm-hmm.
Zofran for that upset stomach, hydration, and vitamin C to boost your immunity because, if you're wilding out at night, who knows what you no,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But it,
Hey,
it,
you're
it
telling the
boosts you
truth.
and gets you back going to work and uh, I usually recommend getting a hangover cure before you go out drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing where you feel so horrible with drinking is that you're dehydrated. You're drinking, but you're peeing it out just
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
So your body gets dehydrated, and then you start feeling all those symptoms of a headache, feeling bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the older we get, it's harder to bounce back.
Yeah.
So if you do
Yes.
that ahead of time, you're already hydrated, you drink, you can have a great night with your friends, and then be productive the next day.
Like it. So what is the most popular one that you have besides the hangover? What's the next one?
Would be the Nirvana, which is basically hospital terms, like a banana bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the kitchen sink, but it's got the essential vitamins that you would take on a normal basis.
Mm-hmm.
Vitamin C, the B complex, B12, magnesium, calcium. And so it makes you feel real good. And most of the vitamins last 30 days in your system. So instead of taking this whole handful of vitamins every day and supplements that you probably are not even being absorbed in your
Mm-hmm.
body,
Mm-hmm.
um, you can do this. You get 100% benefits of it. It lasts 30 days. And, you can get on a regimen to where your body, you won't be sick,
Right.
and feel motivated to do
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Nice. I love it. Okay. What is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about IV therapy that you wish that they just understood better?
A misconception that that a lot of people feel like IV therapy is just for hangovers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's open to so much more. Um, just think about our elderly who get overheated, and a lot of people are not even watching them and taking care of them and things like that. Or if they go and visit mama, every now and then, she's probably not drinking what she's.
Mhm.
I mean, especially if they have dementia or something like that, they're already not drinking enough. So something like IV therapy could get them hydrated, keep them out the hospital.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, gastric surgery with malabsorption that can help them. It can help pregnancy. A lot of women vomit a lot those first few
Oh,
months.
yeah.
Um, athletes in this heat.
Mhm.
I've already mentioned, like construction workers and roofers, landscapers, all of those, they work outside. We've got to watch our kids just as much as we watch, um, as much as the adults,
Mhm.
because, the kids, that they don't know that they're dehydrated, but they're
Yeah.
out there, like you said, in this Texas heat, and, 2 a days.
Yeah.
It's hot,
It is hot. It
you
is
know,
so hot. I mean, I don't know how my kids did it. And
and
I
they
know they say they're young,
uh-huh,
but still there are so many kids that are just dropping like flies after
absolutely.
practice. And I'm like, we have to do something about this. Like the little physicals. I remember we used to get on the bus and go have our little physicals. They like, and you're good. You're good. I'm like, who's gonna check my heart? Who's gonna
Right,
check? You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
they really should be checking these kids out,
absolutely.
instead of just putting them on the field and the amount of impact that they take too in this heat. Like
Mhm,
one time my son hit a guy and he was like, Mom, I promise I hit a brick wall.
yeah,
He was so big and Tyler's little. So I get it. And when Trent was running the ball down through that line, like that whole line could be 1,000 pounds, like
mhm,
you're busting through 1,000 pounds. So they really should look into that.
and it's more than just sports that you think about. You think about the band, all that
Yeah.
stuff that they have
Yeah.
on, and marching in that heat, and so, you really got to pay attention to the kids as well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And even the little league kids, they're
Mhm,
running around. They're running around because that's
mhm.
what most of them do. They're just out there just running. And I'm like, oh, this poor babies, and I'm hot. Like I have to take a fan to the field with me. I've been taking one since my boys were little, and now the fan still goes to the field with me because I am dying.
Yeah.
And you don't think the first thing I need to drink is water. It's like, oh, yep, I need some nachos. Give me a Pepsi. Give me a Snicker. You're ordering all the wrong things when you should be putting water in your mouth and some type of protein bar or something or fruit or something to keep you hydrated.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. And that's a great thing to add because all of this is linked together. So the foods and stuff that we eat, we're out in this heat, all of that contributes because, as working in the ER for so long, now there's 12-year-olds on blood pressure medicine.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, things are different, and I'm glad that you're having broadcasts like this because it brings awareness to
Mm-hmm.
people that don't think about. There's so much noise out there in the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you're putting a spotlight on health and
Mm-hmm.
preventative care
Hmm.
because it's something that's easily overlooked
Yeah.
because kids are kids.
Right.
That's what we say.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've been around kids that we pick them up from school. They're not getting the proper sleep at all. And it's because of mom's work schedule. But you pick him up from school and he sleeps from the time we pick him up to the very next day. That's
Mm,
not good.
mm-mm.
It's not good. And I don't care what anyone says. It's because of his sleep schedule or their sleep schedule, whatever the case is. Like, you still expect for this kid to show up and go to school and perform because you're being selfish about whatever is going
Mhm.
on in your life, but that's a story for another day. Okay. In your experience, why are more entrepreneurs, busy professionals, and athletes starting to include IV services in their wellness routine?
Right. We do live in the South, so we're slow to receive any kind of change. But, this is not a new practice. I mean,
Hmm.
different countries have been doing this for years.
Wow.
And, uh, many years ago, I got IV therapy when I was in Vegas drinking, but it wasn't anything that we did around here, you
Mhm.
know? Um, I think that a lot has changed with COVID. COVID was a strange time, to where, um, but it did bring make us all think about ourselves and
Right.
our health and receiving healthcare differently because everybody was doing telemedicine at that
Mhm.
time. You were thrown into it because nobody was going to the hospitals or
Mhm.
anything like that. So I kind of embraced that time, and I think everybody else did too.
Yeah.
Um, Healthcare professionals and entrepreneurs are always on the go. They're
Yeah.
flying here, flying there. They
Mhm.
don't have time to slow down.
Mhm.
Um, they also have families. And so, with the knowledge that they're getting, oh, okay, there's something out there that can keep me going, keep my energy levels up,
Mhm.
boost my immunity, so that I can continue to make money for my
Yeah.
family. If you think about it in those terms, I mean, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. I'm so happy that I'm finally on board. Like this is the best that I have felt since I was in my 20s. And I'm
Absolutely.
just like this has made a huge difference. Like I want to get up and Tabitha's like, "Monica, your muscles have to rest." And I'm like, "I feel like I'm not being productive if I don't work out every single day."
You can't do
And she's like, "You can't do that, Monica. You
that.
can't do that." She's like, "You have to rest." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, I don't like walking, so I'd rather ride my bike."
Mhm.
Um, and
That's
it's
great.
and it's maybe because I can't count my steps on the bike. My watch doesn't count the steps when I'm on my bike, but I know I need to get at least 10,000 steps every day, which is about 4.5 to 5 miles. But I don't like going to parks. I don't like, I don't, I kind of want to walk in the mall in the morning.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to figure the walking out. I
Well,
can't figure it out.
you're in that right direction as long as you figure out what is comfortable for you,
Mm-hmm.
fits your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, Peloton is a billion-dollar business
Mm-hmm.
now
Mm-hmm.
because you can do it at home.
Yeah. And I have the bike instead of the tread. And I'm like, okay, do I need the tread now? And then when I start just overthinking like that, I just get up and walk like to the mailbox to just let it go. Like you're thinking too much into this, just move on to the next thing. So I'm just trying to figure out the steps part, but even just touching those weights, like I'm sleeping all night. And I
Good.
mean, I wasn't
Good.
sleeping. I'm like two
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning. It's time to wake up. It's a new
Mhm.
day. Just went to bed at 10 and I feel like I slept a whole 8 hours, but I'm averaging anywhere between 6 to 8 hours sleep every single night since I started working out with her.
Yay.
The IV with you, the pellets, and then now I'm about to start these peptides, and I'm just like, I'm about to be a whole new
You
woman.
are.
The world better
I'm
look out.
excited for you.
The world better look out. Okay, all right. Can you share a success story of a client who came in feeling one way and left feeling completely different after treatment, besides me?
Well, I have to say, um, that situation really is usually the quickest turnaround
Mm-hmm.
because if you get some kind of viral illness, a stomach bug, food poisoning, something like that, you're you're having loose stool, diarrhea,
Mm-hmm.
or vomiting for not a day but 2 days. Oh my gosh, people who are on this um, weight loss medication,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, a lot of times that's the side effect
Mm-hmm.
is gastritis where they just are vomiting and feel terrible on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is when your body is sick like that, you're losing fluid,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And so you start feeling not only the fact that you're sitting there hurled over a toilet,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also dehydrated.
Yeah.
So when I go in and I you know, rehydrate that person and give them Zofran for nausea or Pepsid or whatever, we customize the IV to whatever's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the biggest turnaround. And when I unhook them, even before I unhook them, usually they feel better before I leave. And
Oh.
so it feels good, and I've been servicing this community for, like I said, 18 years now. And I guess that's just my path, but it is rewarding when you get to see somebody turn around like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. What would you say to someone who thinks IV therapy is just a luxury instead of a legitimate health and wealth investment?
Well, I strongly believe that your health is your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're sick and you can't pay for it and enjoy it, what's the point? So,
Last question. If someone is listening today, feels constantly tired, run down, stressed, what is one thing they could start doing right now to improve their overall health?
like we were saying earlier, it's all you know, it's like a chain. There's a link to all of it. But get up, move. Moving is important. You know, even if you're just walking down to the mailbox, make sure you're doing that
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know there's nothing in it, but you're getting up, moving, getting off that couch. Go see a friend, and it's the same thing with mental illness.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You know, if you just get up out of bed,
Mm-hmm.
put them feet on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
put some clothes on, even if you don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Been there.
call a friend, let's go have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So moving is way more powerful um, than medication,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, and I just put yourself first because if you're not healthy, how can you take care of somebody else?
That's right. And that's in every area of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You know, we're always going to be lacking in one of those areas. I tell myself that all the time. It's like, boom, I get my finances together. Boom, my check engine light comes on my car just out of nowhere. Like, okay, what is this, God? I
Mm-hmm.
just got this sucker paid off. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or emotionally, I'm okay, but physically, I'm not even going to the gym. Or physically, I'm going to the gym, but mentally, I'm going to the gym because I need to release and get
Mm-hmm.
some emotions out and all that good stuff. So we'll never be 100% in any of those areas. But I always say, and I tell my kids this all the time, and I tell myself this, if you could just be 1% better, that's good. 1% better
Absolutely.
each day. Not, don't try to do 10%. Don't try to do 15 or 20. Like 1% is a huge number with trying to be better. And let's just talk about finances. If you're used to living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, if you can save 25 or $50 out of a paycheck, that's 1% better.
Right.
It's better than just looking at my savings account or my checking account and I have nothing. At least I have $50 over here. And then it becomes a habit. And then it seems like once you get it built up, something happens. But you wouldn't have that if you didn't save it.
Right.
So I truly understand what you're saying. Just get up and move.
Just
Like
get up and
a
move.
lot of people deal with mental health illness and they're given medicine to try to help balance them and they still won't take it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like what is it going to take for you to get this right? And that's what I had to tell myself with my own body. Like, I know that I'm in full blown menopause, but I was like, no, like, you have menopause, but menopause doesn't have you. Go fix this. Pick
Absolutely.
up the phone and call and ask for help because I'm literally crawling out of the bed. My body is zapped, like
Mm-hmm.
on zero. And you can spend all the money you want to on surgeries and all of that. If that inside is not healed and it's not well,
Preach.
I'm just saying, it's not going to do you any good. It's
Yes,
not going to do any good. I can spend
absolutely.
money on my outside all day long, but if I'm dragging ass to walk to the mailbox, that's a serious problem. I
Absolutely.
mean, so you need to figure this out. Like,
Mhm.
can't walk here, can't walk there, can't go up a flight of stairs. Now, going up a flight of stairs or two, that is tough for anybody, but I shouldn't have to go one, just going up the stairs
Mhm.
like that. I should be able to move at a pace to go up the stairs and come back down the stairs. And I just told somebody the other day, if you put that fork down for just a second and think about what you're putting in your mouth, that may change. Now, I don't always get it right.
Well, I think that's step 2.
Yeah.
After moving, really think about, make that choice. It's all mental,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's all mental. What you decide to put in your mouth,
Yeah.
you getting up and moving.
Mhm.
I mean, and if you make, we're all faced with choices every day.
Every day.
And so it's all about making that right choice, from baked chicken to fried chicken.
Oh, love me some fried chicken, girl. I can eat that every day. And do you know I can eat fried chicken cold and I think it tastes better?
Girl, stop.
Oh, it's so good. I'm like, it's something about the crunch. But yesterday I had one of those moments and I was at the office and one of my investors came in about getting ready to sell 4 properties and we talked and I said, hang on, before we start talking, I'm going to send Corey to go get me a sandwich. Like I needed to have a sandwich yesterday. I didn't care what anybody said. Monica wanted a sandwich from Shalasky's and I was going to eat it. I didn't eat all of it. I ate half of it. Corey kept saying, Monica, no, Monica, no. I said, Corey, here's my card. Go get this sandwich. I want it made just like this. I want these chips. I probably could have got baked chips, but I wanted those chips. And I want a chocolate chip cookie and give me a Diet Coke. She was like, what? And I was like, yes. She was like, girl, I cannot believe this. I ended up taking like just a little piece of the cookie, not the whole cookie. I said, give this to Caleb. I didn't eat all my chips. I just needed that taste.
That
And
was
I
a
went,
great segue to what I was going to say, is
yeah,
that you don't have to do all these fad diets um and do these extremes. It's all about quantity and portion control. You
mm-hmm,
still can have the foods that you love and was raised on, but you also have to incorporate mindful eating,
mm-hmm,
you know, and some good
yeah,
vegetables and fiber and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff too. Really, sit down and think about what you're putting in your mouth.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. The whole sugar-free dressing stuff, I was like, this is gonna be disgusting. Girl, that Skinny Fit Honey Dijon
Uh-huh.
sugar-free dressing, it's the bomb. It is
Good.
so good. I don't like
Yes.
the Chipotle ranch. And then I had some chicken quarters that I did this weekend in the oven, and I put the Italian sugar-free dressing on there and some sugar-free barbecue sauce. Oh, baby, it was
Yeah.
on and popping.
It's
So
all a mindset.
it's
It
just
really is.
small little changes that I try to
Absolutely.
implement every single month. Okay, what am I going to change this month and how am I going to stick to it? Like, I never would have had a Diet Coke. They don't have Coke Zero there. I never would have picked up Coke Zero, but my son, he's like, Mom, you just need to try Coke Zero. It's not as bad. I thought it was like horrible. And same thing, like when he drinks Gatorade Zero, like he's like, now it's some stuff I'm just gonna draw the line. Like I'm gonna eat my granny's roast or I'm gonna eat my granny's dressing or whatever the case is. But for the most part, I do try to watch what I put in my mouth. And I was like, okay, that, thank you for that.
Yeah. And
It,
I think people are just overwhelmed with how much information is out there, because there is like, oh my gosh, we're not eating oats now. We're not eating, this and that or whatever. And it is because we're learning so much about what they're putting in our food.
mm-hmm.
And I understand how, what do we eat
Right.
now is such a big factor.
Yeah.
Um, so just do your research, look at your labels, um, and the first step is just making that right choice,
Right.
you know. And so, and then you can make it a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. I want you to look in this pretty camera right here and tell everybody how to reach you for your services.
Okay, you can reach us at healingdropsmobileiv.com, or call us 903-556-1402 to book an appointment or just to talk to me about what's going on with you. And we can customize your IV or come to your event. We've done golf tournaments and bachelor parties,
Oh,
and so we can do one-on-one, we can do a group, we can do just you and your husband, um you know um so
well, thank you so much, y'all. This concludes the Monica Kelley Show. And remember to go do something good today. And just remember to be 1% better each day. Bye for now.
bye.